Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, race number 5 at Santa Anita on Santa Anita Derby Saturday. The Grade 2 Royal Heroine Stakes at 1 mile on the turf for fillies and mares. Remember to bet early and often with DRF bets on Saturday, because you'll be rewarded with a first post bonus on the preps. Bet $25 to win on one horse in race number 1 at the Great Race Place at Keeneland and or at Aqueduct. Get a $10 bonus, win or lose. DRF.com/preps is where you go for all the details. Let's meet the field for the Royal Heroine. We're going to have a big favorite in here in the number 1, Vasilika. All she's done is win half of her 30 lifetime starts, and last time out in the Buena Vista, I do realize she got a good pace scenario. She was just much the best that day, and Elysia's World, who finished 6th, came right back to win the Grade 3 Santa Anita with a 94 buyer. Isn't she just way the horse to beat?
Oh, 100%. I think she's probably going to be 1 to 5 in this spot as opposed to the 3 to 5 morning line. She's versatile. She can lay a little bit closer if the pace doesn't materialize. If it's hot, you know she can come from well off of it. The flat mile's not a problem for her. You brought up the fact that Elysia's World came back to flatter that form. There's really nothing to knock about this horse other than potentially the price. And if you, I suppose if you wanted to get a little bit cute, perhaps looking at it from a pace standpoint and say, if it's very, very slow, how is Flavien Prat going to ride her? Will he be feeling the heat and the pressure to get her into it a little bit earlier, or is he still just going to sit there and say, I'm on the best horse, doesn't matter what the pace situation is?
How about this for being cute as a knock for Vasilika? Considering the unfortunate circumstances at Santa Anita, this horse has had 1 work at Los Alamitos and then 3 over the training track at Santa Anita. That's really not the usual routine for Vasilika, who prepped for the Buena Vista, prepped for all of her other races over the main track at Santa Anita. Do you think that could have any effect?
I suppose it's possible, and that could kind of go for all the horses running out in Southern California this weekend. I mean, clearly their plans have been a little bit interrupted with all the issues going on out there, so maybe that's something that could potentially get her beat, but strictly if we're talking about it from the form and from the paper, it's difficult to make a giant case against her.
European Invader number 5, Raven's Lady. This is a group winner in Germany, a group winner in England, but those races came at 6 furlongs, and we'll see if this daughter of Breeders' Cup Classic winner Raven's Pass can successfully stretch out to a mile. She was listed as a buyback at a December sale for over $460,000. It looks like perhaps a private purchase since that sale. She didn't do any running in her most recent race back in October, finishing last in a 4-horse field. The 3rd place horse coming back to finish 2nd in a listed race. I think she's going to appreciate firm going. I think that's one of the reasons why she's here, but I am a little worried about the mile.
We've seen it in the past, though. I guess if you want to try to sort of, squash those concerns, that those horses in Europe at 6 or even 7, they can usually get a flat mile over here. You go farther than that, I think then in the deep end. My big concern with her, you see in those short comments in some of her European races, she's not the most alert out of the gate, which is not surprising. We've seen a lot of Euros come over here and be a little bit sluggish out of the gate. If that's the case, boy, if there is a lack of speed in here, I think it's something to keep an eye on. It's also worth noting, keep an eye, the morning lines in Southern California, you can usually read between the lines a little bit. She's 7-2. Makes me wonder if people think there's a little bit of talk out there about her.
I think the number 3 Meal Ticket's a little bit of a sleeper in this race, Matt. I really like the way she won at Del Mar. Back on August the 11th, they tried Vasilika in the maybe. I think 1.1 miles a little far for her. I know she's won in the past, but she did so with just a great pace scenario and setup. She didn't really get that in the maybe. And then last time, first time off a long layoff, interesting spot. They run her on synthetic. To me, that was just a prep. Matt Chu is a very shrewd under-the-radar trainer, and I wonder if he's going to have Meal Ticket ready to go. You'll note she's run really well second off the layoff in the past.
I love her. I've been a big fan of hers for quite some time. You're right about Matt Chu. It seems like he is I don't want to say under the radar type, but boy, he places the horses where they belong, and very similar to somebody like Al Stahl. If he doesn't think that they belong, he's not going to run them in over their head. I think she fits in here. My only concern is the pace situation. I think she's at her best when she's able to be taken a little bit farther off of it and make one sort of run. If there's a lack of pace in here and she has to start her run with Vasilika, I just think Vasilika is probably better.
Well, let's talk about the pace situation. Throwing up the Timeform U.S. pace projector, the 6 Space Talk is expected to be last. Of course, we do not have pace data for the European entrant, the 5 Raven's Lady. Now, Space Talk prepped going down the hill at 6.5 furlongs, and all things considered, I thought she ran well in that non-winners of one other than race. The problem is it was a non-winners of one other than race, and she's going against multiple winners in here with a history of running second. I think Space Talk has some ability. I think this might be a little bit too tough.
Yeah, I tend to disagree with the pace projector. I think stretching out in distance, I think the only way that she can really be seriously competitive in here is to go and be a little bit more forward. I'm not suggesting she's going to go out there and blaze on the front end, but I think she's going to be a heck of a lot closer than the pace projector suggests. But I agree with you overall. I just don't know if she's this good.
Smoothie and Cordiality, two big price runners expected to be close to the pace. We'll begin with the recent maiden winner Smoothie, who seemed to appreciate stretching out to 2 turns, but this is just a gigantic leap in class.
It certainly is, but you know what? This is an instance where you hope you maybe get a piece of this thing. You get that graded stakes placing. I don't think she's a real win contender, but I'm not going to fault the connections. It's a shortish field.
Cordiality claimed out of 2 out of her last 3 races, and why not? She's a multiple stakes winner with value as a broodmare. Again, though, this is a horse that seems more of a restricted Calbred stakes type than a true graded stakes horse.
Yeah, another one that I've been a fan of throughout her career. I think she's in a little bit tough here, especially the form that she's been in recently feels like she's tailing off.
We take a look at our top picks for the Grade 2 Royal Heroine race. You believe the pace makes the race, as it so often does. And Miss Bad Behavior, I think Miss Bad Behavior is getting a bit of a bad reputation for no reason. People are saying she's got seconditis. People say maybe she doesn't like to win races. When you're chasing horses like Vasilika, listen, it's going to be tough to win races. When you're chasing horses like Amandine in the form that she was in, Twinette in the form that she was in, Fatal Beret, she's caught some tough spots. But what I do like about Miss Bad Behavior is her speed. I like the fact that she probably will be in front turning into the stretch. She's solid. She's going to have to run a little faster, Matt, because right now I don't think a 91 buyer is winning this Royal Heroine.
No, I agree with that. And that's really the thing, where is she capable of running a race fast enough to get the job done? I mean, a career best number of 91, I agree. I don't think that's fast enough. But I just think the pace situation, I think her Buena Vista is actually better than it even looks on paper, because she was the closest one to that hot
That's
pace.
right.
And the fact that she didn't totally pack it in, I know she was well behind Vasilika when it was all said and done, but I wanted to give her some bonus points for being the first one to make the move into that pace, and she stuck around relatively gamely. If you believe the Timeform US ratings, she's a little bit closer to Vasilika than maybe the buyers would suggest. And really, I didn't see a lot of speed in here. And I think if you're Mike Smith, you just go. You say, come and catch me. Maybe she can't see out the distance. She's probably, I don't want to say probably, she's not as talented as Vasilika, but maybe the pace is the thing that can kind of reverse the form there.
Give me numbers.
2-1-3-5.
I'll be Captain Obvious. I think Vasilika will do it again. I think she can be a little bit closer to the pace if need be, and maybe sits the pocket behind Miss Bad Behavior and tries to come around in the lane. 1-5-2-3 for me in the Grade 2 Royal Heroine. Again, it is a huge Saturday of racing, and you can get involved with DRF Bets' first post bonus on the preps. $25 to win on one horse in race number 1 at Santa Anita, Keeneland, and/or Aqueduct. $10 bonus, win or lose. DRF.com/preps. Approximate post time for the Grade 2 Royal Heroine, 2:06 Pacific. Good luck.